A farmer thought he'd found an ancient relic, but then he realized it was the rarest of spiders. When Li Wenhua stepped into his orange orchard one November morning, it was unlikely that he expected anything more than another routine day at work. The Chinese farmer lived just outside of Chengdu in southwest China, where the humid air can make winters unpleasantly cold. However, he was in store for more than bad weather that day. Li was an ordinary farmer. He is one of the most prevalent surnames in China, second only to Wang, and it's shared by over 100 million people worldwide. But while it was the surname of the emperors during the illustrations Tang Dynasty, Li couldn't lay claim to any royal blood. Being a citrus farmer, his thoughts were likely focused on ensuring a strong orange crop. Orchards throughout China had been hit by citrus greening disease that year, reducing their expected yields. But as he walked through his orchard, he moved closer to discovering something that would improve his fortunes, regardless of the health of his trees. In fact, the health of the trees generally wasn't much of a concern in Pujiang County, the area in which Li lived. Often referred to as the Garden of the Chengdu, more than half of the region is covered in trees. But while this creates a rich and fertile ecosystem, it's unlikely that Li was expecting to find something so exotic or potentially valuable. More than 40 million people in China survive on an annual income of less than $350. In addition, around 500 million of the nation's inhabitants have to live on a daily income of below $5.50. Given such poverty, what Li was about to find would probably be a big deal for most Chinese people. While busy at work on the orange farm, Li saw an unusual object sitting just in front of him. It was unlike anything that he'd ever stumbled upon before while walking through his orchard. The object didn't quite fit in with the brown soil, the green grass, or the orange of his fruit. Indeed, it seemed to Li to be man-made. He initially believed that it was some kind of cultural artifact, perhaps a pendant or medallion that had been lost centuries before. He moved closer towards it, becoming excited that he might have something valuable on his hands. Maybe he could sell it for a handsome fee. His assumption that the object was a historical artifact seemed credible. Pujiang County's roots go back almost 2,500 years, when it was created after the Shu Kingdom had become conquered by Qin Kingdom. So it was possible that Li was looking at an ornamental coin more than 2 millennia old. However, just when Li had come to the conclusion that he'd found a long-lost man-made object that he could potentially make some money from, his discovery moved. He suddenly saw 8 legs in motion and realized that the object was alive. It was a spider, in fact the strangest spider that he'd ever seen. Spiders are fairly common in Pujiang County and in China as a whole. There are more than 3,000 species of spider in the country, including 2 types of tarantula, the golden earth tiger and the Chinese bird spider. After getting over his initial shock, Li subsequently carried the spider home with him in a plastic bottle. After his neighbours heard about what he discovered, they rushed over to his house to see the strange specimen for themselves. He then scoured the internet for info on the creature and was taken aback by what he read. It was called a Chinese hourglass spider, a species that was once thought to be extinct, and since 2000 it had been sighted on just 5 other occasions, meaning it was an extremely rare creature. First recorded during the 5th century BC, it's distinguished by the hard, flattened disc that ends its large abdomen. The book in which it's first recorded is Ya, the oldest known Chinese dictionary. Its 15th chapter contains an account of a creature that closely resembles the Chinese hourglass spider. So while Li didn't exactly find an ancient relic, he still found something that has a long ancestry. As the spider's name suggests, its lower abdomen is shaped like one half of an hourglass. Unlike an hourglass though, the abdomen is a muddy brown, allowing the spider to blend in with its surroundings. The only exception to this is the disc, which caps the bottom of the abdomen and led Li to believe that he'd found an antique. Another more generic name for the creature that Li found is a trapdoor spider. This name comes from the fact that the animal lives in an underground burrow. It uses its hard abdominal disc to close the burrow's entrance and to protect itself from predators and the elements. The Chinese name of the hourglass spider is Li Shi Pan Fu Shu, and its Latin-derived scientific name is Psilocosema ricketi. The spider is of extreme scientific value, entomologist Zaho Li told People Daily, and it is definitely a rare species in Sichuan province. Li's discovery was made even more remarkable by the fact that the hourglass spider is usually found in Zhejiang and Fuyang provinces, rather than Sichuan. And although it was known that the creatures can tolerate temperatures as cold as 55 degrees Fahrenheit, the winters in Sichuan tend to be far colder. So Li's find had therefore helped to advance our understanding of the spider. As peculiar and even frightening as the Chinese hourglass spider might appear on first sight, some people nonetheless keep spiders of the same Cyclocosmia genus as pets. This is possible due to the spider's calm temperament, although its rarity and strangeness also make it attractive. But Li has no intentions of buying a spider tank for his mantelpiece. On average, the female of the species has a disc with a diameter of ½ an inch and is just over an inch long. But even if the size of the spider's body is modest, its market value certainly isn't. Li discovered that the spider can sell for around 12,000 yen, RMB, which is about $1,900, and having learned this, Li decided to trade the spider to someone looking for a new pet, which is likely to secure him a sum of money greater than millions of Chinese people earn in a single year. Please share this video with your friends below.